Good morning, dear students. This is Dr. Yogita Khatri from Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad. Dear students, this time I'm teaching you computer networks. Computer networks is like one of the most important core subjects in your computer science and engineering program. Today, almost everything you do, like you are making UPI payments, you are attending online classes, you are using mobile phones, you are storing your data on the cloud. This is all possible just because of computer networks. So here I would like to highlight this point. This subject is not only academically important, but also it has relevance to industry as well as in term relevance to your competitive exams. So you have to give a great focus to this subject, dear students. Now I'll be introducing you with the I would say the course details. This is a 4 credit course. You have to have 3 lectures in week. There's a lab associated with this course. It's of 2 hours. It's a core course, and this is the evaluation scheme which is presented here. So here it is of total, like it's a hybrid course. So 120 will be from your theory and the lab together, and rest 80 will be coming from your external exam. So this is the breakup of your marks and the like how we'll be going to assess and what are the various components and how where what is the marks distribution with respect to this. As you can see, sessional is of 30 marks, assignment component is of 20 marks. Here we will be dividing this assignment component into two parts. One, 10 marks will be based on the assignment which we'll be providing you, and 10 marks for your certification, which is mandatory for you. And then coming to the class performance component, again, it's of 20 marks, 10 marks for quiz, and 10 marks for flipped classroom. Every student has to present a topic in the class, and the topic I'll present, I'll be giving you in the class. So everybody has to, prepare the presentation for the same. We'll be assessing you on the same. And then there will be 20 marks for the Viva components, 10 marks for your continuous lab assessment portion. Like in every lab, we'll be going to assess and we'll be taking your Viva. Based on that, 10 marks will be given, and 10 marks will be given on the basis of your NSEM internal lab exam. There will again conduct a Viva and will evaluate you over there. 10 marks for the lab record, and finally 20 marks for the mini projects. And so this is the complete breakup of your 120 marks. Then coming to your course outcomes, dear students, these are the 4 outcomes of your subject. Here, these outcomes specify what at the end of the course, what measurable outcomes every student should have from the course. Like you should be able to understand fundamental concept of networking and communication. Then you should be very clear and you should differentiate. You should be able to differentiate between the LAN and the WAN standards. And coming to the functionality of data link layer, transport layer, network layer, you should be able to understand as well as analyze the functionality of these layers. Then coming on to the CO4, which talks about the simulation tools that you will be practicing in the lab. So we want every student at the end of this course should be able to perform all such tasks. Now, moving on to the course objectives. Dear students, again, this is my expectation from the course that you all must be able to understand data communication and all protocols associated with it. You should be able to clearly understand and explain the OSI model and the TCP/IP model, which are the basic model of your computer network. You should be able to configure LANs using switches and router. This will be practicing in the lab. So I expect at the end of this course, my students should be able to perform all such uh, things mentioned here. You should be able to use all tools. You should be able to analyze network performances and congestion control into taking into accounts. So now I'll show you the syllabus. For designing the syllabus, we have followed a layered approach. This has been divided into 6 units, and this is has been designed in a layered manner. Part A will focus on again it will have 3 units. Part B, again it will have another 3 units. In the first unit, we'll require that students should develop strong knowledge, fundamental knowledge about computer network parts. Here we'll be explaining you TCP/IP model and your OSI model specifically, and the various network topologies, the kind of data we have, and the kind of connection that we can make up, various spread multiplexing techniques and your spread spectrum techniques. And this is like we are covering your all fundamental concept of computer networking in your unit 1. Then Unit 2 talks about the various LAN and the WAN technologies. Here, basically, you will be studying the channel access methods, CSMA, CSMA-CD, token ring. Then we'll be studying Ethernet and the various types of Ethernet. And then your Bluetooth, ATM, frame relay, all these technologies will be dealing here. Then coming to the data link layer. At the data link layer, you will be studying the functionality of the data link layer and the various associated protocols. Here, I would like to mention this unit is again very important with respect to the industry point of view as well as your competitive point of view, because here, it's a numerical intensive units. No, many numericals are usually asked from this. For example, the numerical based on the Hemming distance and from the CRC portion, and the kind of I would say the flow control techniques you have here, the stop and wait, go back, NARQ, all these techniques are highly really very important, and numericals are associated with this unit, so you have to put a great focus on this unit. Coming to the network layer will be basically dealing with the switching part and the various networking devices we have, and also the important concept that I'll be discussing over here is IP addressing, and how IPv4 and IPv6 are different, what functionalities have been added into the IPv6 in comparison to IPv4, and many other protocols which are associated with the network layer. We are going to deal all such things at the network layer. Then coming to the transport layer, at the transport layer, we'll be dealing with basically the functionality of this layer, how it performs process to process communication, then the various protocols which are associated with it, and also we'll be dealing, certain techniques to handle congestion control. Then coming to the final unit, which deals with the last layer of your TCP/IP model, which is the application layer. Here you will be studying the various protocols that provide services to the user, and little bit concepts of cryptography we are taking care of in this units. So these are the some standard books which I've mentioned here. So the one of the main book that I'll be referring and I want my students to refer is very first book, which is Data Communication and Networking by the Frozen. It's also available in the e-mode, so I would request everybody to download this book. So it is already, it's freely available on the net. Now let's coming on to the key learning highlights. Dear students, I want that these are certain topics which I mentioned here. These are very important. Numericals are generally asked from these units, not only I would say in the exam, NSEM university exam, also in the gate exam. So these topics are really very important, so you have to have a good practice of these concepts as well as numerical based on these concepts. Now coming on to the I would say the importance of computer network, although I have already mentioned that it connects your digital world. It's everything you are using, performing, like you are using your social media, you are making your payments, you are using the mobiles, IoT projects, wireless communication, everywhere computer network is involved. So I would say this course is really very important. Now, with respect to industry, I would say every role. Maybe you are applying in future. Maybe you are applying for a role of software engineer or a network engineer or a cyber security analyst or a cloud and DevOps engineer. Everywhere, every role require a good fundamental knowledge of computer network. So I would say you have to put a great focus in the class with this, because this subject, as already I've highlighted, that this is not only academically important, but it has a strong relevance with respect to industry also. Here, I would like to mention that if you just have observed, or if you have talked to your senior, you'll get to know that there's a company called British Telecom, which generally comes in Manav Rachna for recruitment purpose. And this company is particularly looking for the strong fundamental knowledge of this particular subject, computer network subjects. So the dear students, those who are not very good in coding, I would recommend that please have a good knowledge of this subject, this particular subject. Get your fundamentals clear for this subject so that at least you can apply companies like British Telecom, where such kind of expertise they are looking for. Now, moving on to the competitive exam point of view, the relevance of this subject, as I already highlighted, this subject is one of the core courses. So it is mostly, I mean, there are 5 to 6 questions in GATE you will be getting on computer network. And also for cracking NET for PSU exam and for the recruitment purposes. So this subject has a great significance and you have to put a great focus on this. So again, these are some topics which are like generally being asked in these I mean, I would say the competitive exams. Now, in laboratory, we'll be giving you hands-on learning on various networking tools. Like we'll be practicing, I mean, performing 4 to 5 experiment on Cisco Packet Tracer. So here you'll be designing the network, you will be configuring, I mean, you will be designing various network topologies, and you'll observe how hubs are connected and how switches are connected, how routers are connected. So this kind of setup you will be doing or simulating in the lab. Then you will be performing certain experiments on network simulator. Also with Wireshark, you will be analyzing the packet traces, and then also some bit of socket programming will also be doing in the lab. So this hands-on practice on lab is really, I would say, is going to clear all your doubts. And this practical learning has a great value, I would say, in internship, projects, and placements. So, dear student, my expectation from you is that you have to take this subject very, I mean, seriously. You have to be very alert whenever we'll be discussing such topics. So, I want a great dedication and commitment from your sides. So I'm hoping I mean, hoping the same from all of you. So at the end, I would say that computer network is really a very important subject, has a great importance with respect to industry and the higher studies and your competitive exam. So here I'm wishing all the best for the coming semester. Best wishes, my dear students. Thank you.